right now, I want to talk about Ezequiel Duran's great at bat last night as the Rangers got tied up there in the 8th inning, 3-3. And I'll start with Spores. Spores has been tremendous. Thank God for Spores, because the Rangers have had almost everybody go into that setup role and really struggle to accomplish that goal. And nothing against, like, Grant Anderson, he's been awesome too, but that is a lot to ask of Grant Anderson, who's never pitched in the major leagues, to be like, all right, hey, welcome to the big leagues. We're really struggling in this situation. Let's just see if you can pitch the 8th inning in a really tight game with a lot of pressure at a big league level and do this. That's a lot to ask. Okay. Spores last night. Boch was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to try to get 2 zeros on the board here from him. And that's when you start to become a setup guy, Derek, that's a lot to ask of, I need you to put a 0 up in the 7th inning and a 0 up in the 8th inning. So even though, yes, he gave up the lead and he gets a blown save in that situation, I'm like, man, that is a lot to ask to get a 0 in the 7th and an 8th inning.
I do want to say, though, that shows a lot of confidence. And for Spores, like, he should see that as, man, that's cool. He really believes in me. So that's a confidence booster. Yes, it didn't go exactly his way. That doesn't mean Boch is like, all right, never doing that again.
Right.
He knows that, you know what? I put him in that high leverage situation. I pushed him. I want to see if we could do it. He gave us a good effort. It's fine. Yes, I get it. We gave up, the lead. It tied it up, whatever. But I still think it's a very positive outlook going forward, knowing, okay, I know I can push him to 2.
Yeah, and I think if you can pitch him 1 inning a day, you can pitch him 3 out of 5 days. Because right now he is, just like Will Smith is your closer, Spores is your setup guy. There's really nobody competing with him, and he's doing a great job. I don't want this to come across as anything, but he's been awesome. I just think that probably pushing him in that situation to try to get 6 outs instead of what most guys in that situation, hey, get us our 3 outs in the 7th or get us our 3 out in the 8th. Don't get us. That's a lot to ask to get 6 outs there in that situation.
But you also got to think of it too as that's his first time doing that in these kind of situations. So now it's like he's used to 1 inning.
Yeah.
Now he finally got to do the 2, and it's like, okay, now I know what I need to do next time. And I screwed up, but I got it.
And the other day he did go an inning plus in Nate Evaldi's game where he went 5 2/3 against Garrett Cole. He got the last out in the 6th and then pitched all of the 7th to get your 4
so 2
outs.
Ups, yes.
So then you got the 2 ups, and that's, people don't understand that, right, Derek? That's a big deal, is to come in from the bullpen with that adrenaline rush. You're ready to go. You get your guy out, or you get the 3 guys out, and then you sit down. And as a reliever, if you're a short reliever, there's a little bit of, you got to learn this and also fight this. There's a little bit of an adrenaline letdown, a little bit, because now you're sitting in the dugout waiting to go back out there. You're not in the bullpen with that phone ringing. I don't even know. Can you explain the adrenaline rush when you're in the bullpen and the phone rings and everybody gets an adrenaline rush? And then when they say Holland, Bassick, you're up. Like that adrenaline rush is amazing.
So for me, it's every time the phone would ring, my heart would start racing. And it was like, okay, this is me. It's me. It's me. And then all of a sudden it's not. Then it's kind of like a letdown. But then once you find out it's me, then it's like, okay, hurry up, take your pre-workout. All right, let's go. And then it's like everything is just going 100 miles an hour. Now you got to learn to control that and slow it down. And then once you get out there, you don't even think about it. Now it's go time. So yes, it's something else. But I also
using it. That's why guys will throw 94 as a starter, and let's just say they don't make it as a starter. Like, hey, we're gonna go to the pen, and then all of a sudden, Cole Reagans is a good example. Then all of a sudden he's throwing 97. He was 92 last year. They put him as a pen guy, and now he's throwing 97. You're like, whoa. And it's like, 1, he worked really hard this offseason. 2, that adrenaline rush.
That plays a big factor. But I also wanted to point out, too, that with the up-downs, that's a big thing in pitching. Like in spring training, that's why we always have to, you throw a bullpen, and then we get you back up. We want to, like, all right, let's throw 30 pitches, sit down, let's throw 15 more, and you're done. Yeah. So it's all about getting the conditioning of getting used to that and continuing your adrenaline rush with it.
From there, Ezequiel Duran has an unbelievably great 12 pitch at bat. It ends up being a home run, 4-3, and you're like, all right, come on, Will Smith, hold this. And then the Rangers exploded again. Like that was, I don't want to say the old Rangers, but that was the Rangers that we got so used to in April and May, is they can just pour it on. And right there, luckily, the Rangers just poured it on, and everybody from that Ezequiel Duran at bat, just it seemed like everybody got up there and had a quality at bat after quality at bat.
That's awesome that they kind of got that spark from that. I just wanted to point out, Mike, in the last 10 games since the Toronto series, Duran's 17 for 32, 7 runs scored, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, and 3 RBI. It seems like a dude that's hitting like that should have more RBI, but he's so low on the order.
Everybody in front of him has like 50 RBIs. Like eventually, there's nobody else to hit in.
Yeah, that's why I think that's what makes this team so good. Is like no matter what the situation is, they will strike at that time, and that's why it's good to see. Like he's in the 8 hole, right?
Yeah, 8,
7,
9, yeah, 7, 8.
Okay, don't move him, and that's what Bochy's like. I'm not going to move you. This guy is doing so good there, and he's a weapon.
Yeah.
When he gets on base, he helps out. He's a threat. So why move him? We've got such a good threat up top. We need that same good threat at the bottom. Now you look at our lineup, and you've heard it from multiple guys saying this, that this is not an easy lineup. Yeah, we don't have superstars, but these guys are making a name for themselves 1 through 9, and they are a threat.
Huge shot at Corey Seager and Marcus Semien there. Did you hear? No, they are superstars.
They are
I know what you're saying.
superstars.
They'll probably be mad at me.
They might all be all-stars.
It's
We'll
being
find out
sarcastic, right? Isn't it tough though on this?
Yes.
If you say one thing that like, then people go, "Oh, Derek said he's not a
they
superstar."
twist it
But they
around.
are. They're stars. They're superstars. They're probably both going to be starters. By the way, Ranger fans, great job so far voting.
11:30
Keep it
is when
going.
we'll get an update from yesterday.
Okay. I want to ask this question about Ezequiel Duran that I asked about Leody Taveras, I believe, early last week. Is this who Ezequiel Duran is? Like going forward, can you expect, is Ezequiel Duran around a 300 hitter, around I'm going to guess, a 25 home run guy? And I know his RBIs, RBIs are somewhat situational. You have to be presented the opportunity, unless you're hitting home runs, you have to be presented the opportunity to knock guys in. But is Ezequiel Duran, is this who he is in the future? Is he around a 300 hitter, a 25 home run, let's just say 80 RBI guy?
Could be. I just feel like it's what's around him. The guys that are around him continue to push him and show him the way. I think having that veteran leadership that they are, they see what guys like Semien and Seager are doing. They see that they have to do that. And
Corey, I have to move this conversation forward because I kind of feel like he might be. I'm just not sure. I'm sure a lot of teams are calling on Ezequiel Duran because he's a second baseman. Ezequiel Duran is a second baseman. He's struggling in left field. He's working his butt off to become a left fielder, but it's a tough position to go from second base primarily in his career to then, like, hey, go to left field and figure it out in a hurry. It's very tough. Obviously, I work with Mark McLemore.
And do it in the big leagues.
Yeah, and do it in the big leagues. Like, it's really tough to do. I'm just wondering how many teams right now are calling, as the Rangers, I think, are trying to make trades right now. I wonder how many teams are going, what are you going to do with the Ezequiel Duran guy? You're not going to play him in left field all the time. He's not a left fielder, right? So I'm just wondering how many teams are trying to get Ezequiel Duran off of this team.
Okay, you say that they're trying. Are you trying to keep him too?
I'm trying to, but in the right situation, I might move him.
So what would it take for you to move him? What kind of pieces?
A guy like Mitch Keller or Dylan Cease, who I know is going to be in my rotation as one of my top 2 or 3 guys for the next 3 years.
So somebody you can control a little bit longer.
Because I'm looking at, I said this the other day, Evan Carter, who John Morosi was on this morning with with Sean and RJ, he said, look, they're not moving Evan Carter for anything because Evan Carter most likely next year is your everyday left fielder for the next 6 years. And Leody Taveras is probably your center fielder for the next 5 or 6 years. So if I know that Evan Carter is going to be my left fielder next year and probably my left fielder in the future for a long time, then other teams know this too. The Pirates, the White Sox, whoever you're dealing with right now in trade discussions, they also know that Ezequiel Duran has a little bit of a crunch in where he fits in on the future Texas Rangers. But the dude's about a 300 hitter and about a 20-plus home run guy. That is a super valuable piece to have on your team. And as a trade situation, I don't want to trade Ezequiel Duran. To your point, Derek, I just wonder, I bet teams really want him.
Can I name some guys?
Okay, go.
Okay, I've got Ottavino from the Mets.
Number 0.
Yeah, we could do Cease, Giolito, or Kelly, one of those guys from there. And then also from Detroit, these 4 guys are guys I think we should watch out for. Foley, Lang, Alexander, and Cisnero.
Yeah,
Cisnero's
was great
big
the other
one.
day in long relief when they had the injuries.
I mean, a big one to me out of all those, I think Cisnero is one that like really stands out because he's here already. The guy's been lights out this year, and I played with him.
Yeah,
I know what he's capable of. He's got closer mentality.
I'm not sure if this is who Duran is for the rest of his career, but he could be. To your point, he could be. I will trade Ezequiel Duran Last night, unbelievable bet. I will trade him if I get a starting pitcher that I believe is a guy that it's tough to say replace Jacob deGrom, but a guy that I know
So Cease.
if we make the playoffs, if the Rangers make the playoffs,
I
he's
know
one
it's
of
what
my
he wants.
3 starting pitchers, right?
you
And
want
Cease
this-
would be. Mitch Keller would be too.
I don't see him going anywhere. Pittsburgh really likes him. That's their guy. They've been working with him. They've got something going with him. I don't see them going
They
anywhere.
might be more interested in working something with that closer there. a little bit.
Bedard.
Bedard. We might be
I could
interested
see
in
that too. But then 2 closers.
I'm not crazy. That's not a problem to have.
I know.
And obviously,
Hey,
That's
at
like-
one point we had a Gondo and Fleas, and so we said you're our 6th inning
and I don't
guy
think
now.
they ever
It's true.
expected Will Smith to be the closer here when they signed him. They thought he's going to be a great lefty,
Like a
7th,
setup.
8th inning
Yeah.
guy. So you can move him back to that and be fine. But I'll tell you this: I don't think I'd trade Ezequiel Duran for a closer.
Okay, I do want to revisit this at some point, Mike.
cool.
Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, fine, when I'm
but
not here.
because it is more about Evan Carter at that point. So I want to get to that
He's
later.
not going anywhere.
I know.
That's
Well,
a
I know
don't
that.
touch.
It's just got to figure out what to do with
What
him
if-
this year.
What about if it was for Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah,
All right, Derek.
we're out of time.
All right, coming up next.
Yeah.